Hey everybody, it's Brad.
And I'm Christa.
With the Big Family Homestead. And today we are going to go into a conversation, and we hope that you will add your comments down below, because we don't think that we're the only people that have good ideas.
No. I know loads of you have some amazing ideas that we might not even think of.
Yep. So today we're hopefully going to come together as a community and share ideas and techniques and tips on how to save money on food. We're not going to spend a lot of time talking about the reality of what is now in terms of inflation, but we do need to look it squarely in the eye and understand it's not going away anytime soon, and that it's most likely going to get worse.
Right.
So, a lot of you are on tight budgets. Let's work together.
Right.
So, tips. We got notes here.
So the first thing that I'm going to say when you are going to go grocery shopping, don't go hungry.
I knew she was going to say that.
Eat a meal before you leave.
Even if it's just a piece of bread or something.
Even if it's just a plain cheese and bread sandwich, whatever. Eat something before you go. Because when you go and you go shopping hungry,
you're going to buy more.
Way too much. Oh, because that looks good. Ooh, that looks good. I want to eat some of that. No, don't do that.
We actually did that yesterday.
We did. Thankfully, it was at a discount grocery store, so it was still okay. But another thing, make a list.
Stick to it. That's
make
so
a
hard.
list of the meals you're going to eat that week or that month. However you make your shopping list, stick to your list. So those are my top two.
Those are very good.
There's many, but those are my top two.
Well, and we're going to talk about meals and ways that you can actually stretch the food to. We'll get to that, but let's do some of the things, like practical things at the actual store. Don't go very often. Once you make your list, let it pile up to where, okay, I'm only going to go once a week or once every other week. Stay out of the store, because that will help you avoid impulse buys.
Sure. Definitely. Yeah. Make your menu. Stick to that menu. Only go when you are meal planning.
This one I just thought of because we have done this route in our financial world in the past when we've been trying to eliminate credit card debt. And I don't know if it would work, but I want to bring it up because it might work, is that only put an envelope filled with the amount of cash that you have as your budget for that week or 2 weeks. And then when it's gone, it's gone.
Right.
That's why I don't know if it'll work.
Well,
because prices are going up and you still got to eat.
That's true. That is true.
Maybe.
I guess what you could do is what you used to spend 2 years ago, maybe double it, because then your grocery bill will be covered. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Well, everybody knows it.
Everybody knows it. You guys do.
Our politicians have hosed us.
But the economy is strong as.
Yeah, don't.
You know what?
We don't need to go there.
Okay, I'll try.
Let's just say that this was could have been an avoidable situation. Let's leave it at that. Okay, plan ahead, make your list. Yes, schedule your time, and I do mean schedule it. Now, here's another thing, like the chain of stores called Aldi. I don't know if they're in all 50 states, or I know they're in Europe.
I'm not sure.
But one day a week, they will have special deals on meats and butter and stuff like that. And those are going to be the best days that you can go, depending on if you're going to have meat in your...
Right. And the sales are a lot different than they used to be. You could get...
There's still sales.
Get chicken thighs for 70 cents a pound. That's not the case anymore.
Those days are gone.
Right.
Okay, no-brainers. Try to buy produce when it's in season, because it'll be cheaper.
There's an overabundance of it.
Yeah.
Even buy extra, and then you can dehydrate. Or if you have a freeze dryer, you can freeze dry it too.
Right. Or dehydrator. Yeah, you said dehydrator. Buying foods in discount sizes sometimes is good. you really have to watch, because there are a lot of cases now that I'm looking at, like the cans of, shoot, what we were looking at just the other day. There was a big box of something, and then there was a little box, and you're like, how much is this one? Oh, we were looking at candy. And yeah, one was, because we only needed this much, but then she was like, well, we could always get the bigger one and then subdivide it and put some away. And the bigger one was 35 cents per ounce, and the little one was actually 31 cents per ounce.
Yeah, I cannot place what it was, but yeah, it was much cheaper to buy it in bigger bulk. And then you can, a lot of stuff you can vacuum seal in jars, you can vacuum seal in bags. So buying in bigger bulk actually can save you money.
But you got to watch.
But you have to be diligent with it. You can't just leave it on your shelf if it's a perishable item. You can't just leave it in the refrigerator. You got to deal with it.
Yeah.
We bought a big box of granola that we are going to be packaging up shortly.
We'll show you.
Yeah.
Not maybe today.
Not today, but yeah.
Yeah, we bought it in bulk. It was, I don't, how many, 20 pounds?
15 pounds. 15 pounds of granola, super healthy stuff, and it was a really good deal.
Yeah. So, okay, let me open up my notes again. If you can, check the prices for buying in bulk. Now, here's one. We're going to get into the food preparation later, but practical things about the grocery store itself. They intentionally, marketing-wise, they know how you think probably better than you do when it comes to buying. And they will put things that most people like, the higher ticket items, right at eye level. So the cheaper things and generic things are going to be higher up or way down to hard to see. So you're going to have to kind of condition yourself to look for those items that are cheaper, that are higher up or lower down.
Yep. I do find that, if you don't look straight at the, center of the shelf, I bet these companies buy that space.
They do.
And, but if you go to the lower shelves, it's much cheaper. So. Okay,
a word on generics. You might want to get used to using generics if you're not already.
Yeah. Yeah. For, 20 years plus, most of our marriage
is store brand.
We buy store brand. There's only a few name brand items that we will buy. I mean, chocolate chips, you buy the store brand. Tomatoes, you buy the store brand. Mayonnaise, you buy the name brand.
That is a weird one.
Yeah, there are two main brands of mayonnaise.
No, there are only two mayonnaises.
There's only two main brands
of
mayonnaise.
There's only two kinds of mayonnaise. And there's a feud.
No, because there's Kraft mayo. That's a third one.
That's not mayonnaise.
That's okay.
No. There's only two.
I'm not saying we buy that.
No.
There's only two. There's Dukes and Hellmann's.
Dukes and Hellmann's. And there have been family feuds started over wanting Dukes.
Exactly. I will say this. If we can't buy mayonnaise, I do know how to make it. So it's not as good as Hellmann's.
I love my wife, but Hellmann's is better.
It is better. It's not as good as Hellmann's.
So
anyway,
there are some name brands that you're going to want to stick with, but try to make it the least that you can. Yeah. Because in all honesty, you're going to get used to the generics anyway. Right.
And there is significant savings over not buying the name brands. I would say sometimes it's even 50% difference.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
On the store brands versus the name brands. Cereals is another one. If you can avoid it, don't buy the store brand or the name brands. Multi-Meal has great alternatives that are just as tasty.
And they come in a gigantic bag. You get more and you pay less.
Right. And you buy one of those big plastic containers that you can put them in, and you save so much money.
Yep. So. What was I going to say? Another thing about stores, they put all of the impulse buy stuff where you have to stand there, right there at the register.
At the checkout. Yep.
So you have got to maybe put a stick of gum in your purse or your pocket. And right before you get up there, you pop it in your mouth so that you don't look at the gum and go, I would like to buy all of this candy and gum. Ugh. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they know you're going to stand there and look at all this stuff because they've got you stuck there.
Yeah. They have you waiting.
End caps are another thing. Sometimes they're the good deals, and sometimes they're just the thing that you go, oh, wow, and you grab it.
Right, right.
Look at that. They have a new blah, and you grab it.
There's a new coffee flavor.
Yeah, end caps are marketing tools.
Yep.
So you got to be careful with the end caps.
A lot of times they put sale items on those end caps, but it's a name brand item, and they do charge more. So.
Yeah. Also, too, try to find bulk stores that maybe, like we have one in central Wisconsin called Cloverdale, and they buy food that is almost expired, not expired, but almost expired, and you get stuff at about 40% less.
Or more.
Like we just got big packages of cheese-filled bratwurst for
$1.79.
$1.79, and they would normally be a $5 package.
For 6.
Yeah. And we just buy a bunch and throw them in the freezer.
Yeah. Bacon. What was that bacon?
It was Oscar Mayer brand bacon.
It was Oscar Mayer bacon.
Just the regular Applewood bacon.
$1.79 for a 1 pound package. Find, if you guys are up here, go to Cloverdale.
Try it out.
Try it out. It's not used food.
Used food.
Somebody, they nicknamed it used food. It's not used food. It is discounted food. Oh, my watch is glaring in the camera. Sorry about that.
It's basically what they do is they buy in bulk stuff that is just about ready to expire because the store couldn't sell it for whatever reason. But who cares if it's frozen?
Right.
If it's frozen, you're going to stick it in your freezer, and then you're going to have it for yada yada until you're going to use it anyway.
Right, exactly.
So find those things. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say about shopping before we get to the meal side is I know that there's a lot of people that cut coupons. Sometimes that's good, but a lot of times it's not. And it's really not if you don't know how to do all the ins and outs of couponing and how much time it takes you. How much, because it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of gas, believe it or not, because the way it works is those sales don't all happen at one store.
Right.
You got to go all around.
Yeah, you got to go to different stores to get those deals. Well, the money you're spending on gas to get those deals, you could be saving in one store
Just
buying
buy generic.
store brand. Gosh.
So
I tried to coupon years and years and years ago. And I found that I was spending way too much time clipping coupons, and then
it was not that great of a savings.
it was not. Even with the coupon, the store brand was much cheaper than the name brand. And I know a lot of people say, well, I got these items for free. Okay, that's great. That's awesome. I never had good experience with it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's talk about ways that you can actually stretch the food. We touched earlier on dehydrating and vacuum sealing. Free if you're lucky enough to have a freeze dryer. Oh wow, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But what you got to do is be diligent in making sure that you do those things, because what we found is we'll go and do the hard work of buying the big bulk thing, and then we won't subdivide it, and all of a sudden it'll start getting stale.
Yeah, that does happen. Yeah. Because life happens. You know, life gets in the way, and you got to make sure that you're taking care of your family, but you also have to take care of the food that you bought. So.
Okay, recipe stuff. How to stretch it. Your friend Rice.
Your friend and mine rice.
My friend Rice.
Yeah, you can do brown rice, you can do white rice, you can do jasmine or basmati. There's so many different brands, so many different kinds of rice. It doesn't matter. Rice is very good for you. It's gluten-free, so a lot of people can have it. And it's a great filler.
You can stretch just about anything with rice.
Right. You do have to be careful though, or their rice does have a lot of carbs. So if you're on keto, then that's not going to work for you. You'll have to find
go with beans.
Go with beans. Yeah, go with a different, like cabbage. You know, cabbage is so inexpensive, and it's really, really good for you.
Yep. So look for those foods that can stretch the meal, but be careful that you're not giving yourself just zero nutrient food.
Sure.
Because you still need the proteins, and
Right.
you still need the fruits, you still need the vegetables.
vitamins.
Yeah. Okay. Other ways to stretch things. You can unfortunately, it's just about anything starchy.
Well, and that's why I suggested cabbage, because cabbage is inexpensive and it's really good for you.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean.
Okay, making a meal plan.
Yes.
Not just a list of stuff that you're going to take to the grocery store, but make a meal plan. We usually do it for the entire month. And what we'll do is we will save the meal plan. She'll print out a monthly calendar. We'll sit down and look at, okay, we need to have at least 2 or 3 non-meat meals.
Would you generally do
every week.
1, 2 or 3 a week?
That's what we had been doing.
Oh, that's what we had been doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good saving tip is try to eliminate meat out of your diet part of the time. You can't eliminate.
You still need protein.
I know a lot of people who are vegan and vegetarian, they choose to not eat meat. We choose to eat meat, so we eat it a few times a week. So.
Well, and the reason why we're so blessed is because we raise it.
We raise it ourselves.
It's not like we're going and buying, prime rib, because no way.
No.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
We raise it ourselves, and we pay a butcher to take care of that for us and package it up, and so we know what that animal has eaten. It's cost us a whole lot less than it would if we were having to buy that much meat in the year.
If you can, get a chicken or 2. Look at the cost of eggs, people. The cost of a chicken is what, $3 a chick?
Yeah, $3. Depending on where you're at, can be a little bit more. But yeah, if you get a few chickens, start them out as chicks, and you'll have eggs.
You get the right kind of breed, which our breed is
Isa Brown,
and you get almost an egg every day.
Yeah, they lay 300 eggs a year, each bird. So trust me, we have 29
cluckers.
We're getting 26 to 29 eggs every day.
We end up giving a lot to the food pantry at church.
Yeah,
which is great.
We give it to our horses. We give it to Grace. We eat them, but we still can't go through that many.
Now, another thing about chickens, though, that people don't realize, or most people don't realize, is that they're omnivores.
Yes.
They will eat little bugs. They eat, if a snake gets into that pen, heaven help it.
It's gone.
They look like little velociraptors. They'll rip it apart.
Chickens are fun.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of folks are in the city. If you're in the cities, you can raise quail.
Or rabbits.
Yeah.
Because they're a pet.
Right. But quail are, you don't free range them. You house them in cages, and they lay eggs a lot too. So I'm not sure how many eggs, but they lay quite a few. So.
Now, not the healthiest meal ever in the world, but spaghetti stretches a long way.
Yeah.
And kids love it. It's one of those things where you can, it's still $1. It's $1.50 for a pound of spaghetti now.
No, depending on where you're at. Well, no.
Probably.
At Walmart, they have a 4-pound package of spaghetti noodles, and each pound is individually wrapped in plastic. But it was $3.82, I think, when we were there last.
Not
so
bad.
It's less than $1 a pound.
Not bad, but I've seen the individual ones, like the Barilla brand is more.
They're like $1.72.
And maybe my palate is just not that great, but I can't taste the difference.
No, some noodles we pick Barilla because it is a better quality noodle, like lasagna noodles.
True, that is true. But you're talking $1.39 or $1.30-ish for a can of sauce if you don't want to make it yourself, and a pound of spaghetti. So you're talking $3 to feed your family. Yeah. You're gonna want some Parmesan cheese or whatever, but $3 still to feed your family. I would stock up like a madman on spaghetti now.
If you folks don't know how to make bread,
we got a great recipe.
We've got many bread videos. Just search it on YouTube.
Big Family Homestead bread.
Right.
Yeah.
There are so many videos on how to make bread very inexpensively, very easy.
Your biscuits probably cost less than $1.
Sure. And that makes a whole humongous tray. It's like 2 dozen biscuits.
Yep.
So I make a whole big batch, and then we freeze them because there's only a few of us left at home. We're not going to eat that many.
Okay, another great way to make that dollar stretch, folks, is plan for leftover night.
Yes.
Use your leftovers for lunches and stuff, but make a soup.
Yeah.
You know, go, okay, this, that, and plan for it. That way you're going to get another fresh meal out of it that isn't not the same thing you just had,
Right.
but you're still using up what you got.
Right. Right.
So, where we're at as a country, and not just us, but people in the UK, people overseas, we're all feeling it. Yeah. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going away anytime soon. So we got to smile, share information, look out for your neighbor, and then hopefully they'll be looking out for you. And just keep on chugging.
Yep. Yep.
So, other ideas, comments down below, or go join our forum on our website and share your ideas. It's free, doesn't cost anything. One last thing before we go, we sell freeze-dried food. Thrive Life freeze-dried food. And people used to rail on it and say, oh, it's great and we love it, it's a perfect product, but it's too
so
expensive.
Not anymore.
And guess what? It's good as fresh for 25 years.
Yep.
How much more money do you think you're going to spend on strawberries and bananas and stuff like that 5 years from now?
If you can even get them.
Might be worth looking into the link down below where it says Thrive Life, and you can go and at least buy stuff that you like that you might not have an easy time getting if it's $20 for a pineapple.
Right. There's some great sales for November. There's a grilled chicken that I'm excited. I want to try.
Oh, yeah.
And all it is chicken. That's white meat chicken and salt.
But it's grilled.
It's grilled. That's all it is. That's the beauty part of Thrive Life. There's not any added.
No wacky chemicals.
No wacky chemicals. The items that are they're non-GMO items. There's a lot of gluten-free items. Of course, the flour is not gluten-free.
Pineapple is just pineapple.
It's just pineapple. It's just broccoli. It's just onions. It's just peaches. There are so many delicious things. They're all delicious. Mushrooms, my favorite.
And you can make your own recipes. That's what's cool.
Yes.
It's not like you're stuck with a bag of gloop that's like mostly powder and salt.
Exactly. There's so many. There's those prepackaged items. There's so much sodium in these items that it's just, you'll live, but you won't thrive. And I know they made that name because of that. But it's these foods are so delicious.
They're whole.
Yeah.
And they're completely nutrient dense.
Yeah.
Unless you're buying like potato flakes.
Well, then you've got potatoes, mashed potatoes. But there are, the fruits are just fruit. The vegetables are just vegetables. The meat is the meat and salt, and that's it.
And so the price now is not so bad compared to today's prices at all. And you got to be thinking ahead. What if this keeps going the way it is?
Right.
I want to make sure that I've got at least enough variety in food, our selections, so that you don't go nuts on rice and beans all the time.
Exactly. You can survive on rice and beans, but here's the kicker. If you're going to store food, you need to store food that's not just calorie dense, but it has to be nutrient dense. That's a huge thing. Yeah, beans and rice, you'll live. Not very well.
You're emaciated.
So you have to learn how to, you have to resupply, you have to supply,
Take
you have
the
to
steps
prepare for nutrient dense foods.
Take the steps today, because honestly, I can't imagine what it's going to be like 5 years from now.
Right.
That's
One more thing that I wanted to say.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I know right now it's, for us, it's getting ready to be winter. It's going to be winter here shortly.
It's already snowed a few times.
It's already
It's
snowed
November 1st.
like 6 inches, in October.
Yeah.
Be planning a garden for the spring.
That saves a lot of money.
That saves a huge amount of money. Be planning. Get your stuff
canning.
and then can your stuff. Dehydrate your stuff. Freeze dry your stuff if you have it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge savings right there.
I agree.
So
we can talk about gardening though in another video because you can actually waste a lot of money gardening.
Sure can. Sure you can.
There's bad ways to garden and there's good ways to garden, but that's for another day.
Right.
So with that, I think we're gonna say sayonara.
Adios.
Adios. Have an awesome and blessed day.
Bye, guys.